Have you ever found yourself either in a meeting or when you've just left a meeting wondering, what the heck did we just do over the last 45 minutes or last hour? Maybe it was only 25 minutes, but what did we do? Have you thought about, God, we've had that same conversation before. Have you ever thought about the amount of time that's wasted inside meetings? We all have. We've all experienced this. I've been interviewing a number of people over the course of the past couple of months around this, and the meeting challenge continues to persist. So let's figure out how to solve it. And we're going to solve it using this problem-solving framework. So what's the problem that we're going to solve? Let's solve for no more sucky meetings. That's a technical term, sucky. Let's make meetings more effective. There's a lot of time that we ultimately waste in meetings. So the real problem is wasted time in meetings. Who has the wasted time problem? Well, number one, the people that are inside the meeting, so the participants. The other people that have a wasted time meeting, if we're honest with ourselves, is the leader of the meeting. The leader of the meeting has a problem with this because they can feel the lack of engagement in the room. They can just feel the energy being sucked out of the room. So we have the meeting participants and we have the leader of the meeting. Who's ultimately impacted? Well, anybody who's waiting on those participants to do other work. So customers are impacted, both internal and external. Who actually cares about the people who have the problem or are impacted by the problem? Investors, board, ideally senior leadership inside the organization. The cool thing about the people who care, they typically have money and they'll be able to apply or allocate resources to help solve the problem. All right, this is going to be the fun one. Why does this problem persist? Why do we continue to have sucky meetings? Well, number one, sometimes there's no agenda. Number two, wrong people are in the room. Number three, lack of a plan. Number four, somebody just takes over the conversation, so lack of facilitation. Some people are ignored. There's a lack of engagement. So there's so many of these things that happen. And ultimately, if you look at them and you boil them down into small pieces, it's a lack of leadership inside these meetings. It's a lack of leading and helping the business move forward inside these meetings that continues to create this. Now, one of the other challenges, and one of the reasons this persists, is some people believe, you know who you are, some people believe that real work happens in meetings. Now, real work can happen in a collaborative meeting, but for the most part, the work happens when people are out there doing the work. Now, there are some people, leaders inside organizations, who think that the value they deliver to the business is in the number of meetings that they have. So they like that they have a full calendar. So there's some things that we've got to overcome on that side. Why is it important to solve? Ultimately, the reason why the meeting problem is something that we have to solve, it's important to solve, is because of the amount of money that's wasted, the amount of time that's wasted, and the amount of frustration that we have across the team. We're just wasting a lot of resources. And if we can solve for the wasting of resources, our teams will be more productive. We'll be able to solve real problems inside the business and we'll be able to make better impact across our business. So do we agree broadly that we should solve the meeting problem? I think so. So now we get into how they're attempting to solve it. Well, they'll send an agenda. They'll look at the list and try to make sure that they don't add too many people on the list. You work to reduce the number of people that are in the meeting. You might even reduce the amount of time that meetings take. So instead of doing a 30-minute meeting or an hour meeting, you do 55 minutes or 25 minutes, and you create some more space there. So today they're doing it with some agendas and planning. How might we do it differently tomorrow? This is where things get exciting. So work with your team and start to think, ask this question: how might we make the meetings that we're having more effective inside our business? How might we achieve better results? Number one, have a plan. We've talked about the call plan tool. Apply a call plan. Make sure that everybody has an objective that's coming in there. Everybody has a role that they're going to play. Make sure that there's clarity around what the next steps are. So that's one way to do it. Another way that you could do it is you could work with someone like me as a facilitator who guides the meeting and helps you achieve those results, an external resource that can help move that. You can use external resources even inside your organization. And what do I mean by that? Lean on people in other groups to come in and guide or facilitate the meeting if they've got that capability. So there's a couple of different ways that we can do it. The key piece, I think, better planning. If we have better planning, then we're going to be in a better position to make those meetings more effective and not waste a lot of time. Stick to the agenda, stick to the plan, stick to the objectives. Know what your desired next steps are. So there's things that we can do on the planning side and the execution side that will help us from a future state perspective. Well, when do we need to solve it by? That depends on how important this is inside your organization. How much more time do you want to spend wasting in meetings? Last piece, short-term, medium-term, long-term. How do we address this? How do we actually evaluate success? What does success look like? How do we get feedback from people? Or are we open to the feedback? Well, in the short term, maybe what the first thing to do, first test is take a small meeting that you have, recurring meeting, where it feels like you're having the same conversations over and over again, and put together a call plan, a specific call plan on how you want to address one of those issues. And remember, in the call plan, we want to know who, we want to know their objectives, we want to know our objectives, and we want to know what the desired next steps are. Break that down into one thing, and then once you've achieved the result in that meeting, end the meeting. End the meeting, give people back time. So short term, maybe you look at your planning strategy. Another thing you might want to look at is how do we help people be better meeting facilitators? Maybe there's some training that can be out there, or application of tools as you build those specific skills. In the medium term, maybe there's something kind of feedback loop that you want to put in place, which is, are our meetings working? How many meetings were we able to eliminate? How much progress did we make on the objectives that we have inside the business? Actually use your data to inform, are you actually solving the problem or are you making it worse? Over the long term, then you can start to look at things like how much progress did we make on general objectives as a business or as an organization? So the way that we solve the meeting problem, less sucky meetings, no more wasted time in meetings, get the people together who have the problem, impacted by the problem, or care about those people, work through why the meeting challenge persists inside your organization, then start to lay out why it's important to solve for. Look at your current state versus desired state, and then build out your short-term, medium-term, long-term plan. And if you're looking for help, know that this is something I do inside organizations, both in the context of collaborative whiteboard sessions, focused on either solving a problem, designing for a solution, or aligning on strategy and tactics to achieve a result. If you want to go deep on different types of meetings, and I believe there's 3 jobs to be done in a meeting, you can take a look at some of the videos that we've done around the decision-making meeting, the information with question and answer meeting, and then the third one, that collaborative meeting. Be creative in the way that you pull people together to solve problems, and you will start achieving the results you want inside your business one step at a time.